Hey, everybody, what's up? We are back. Souza is in the house for the Something
We're
podcast. I'm Eric Mack. Souza,
back.
what's up? How are you?
Nice to see you, Eric. It's been so long. I feel like I miss you.
I know it's crazy. We've been navigating a very drastic time difference with you in Australia and me still here in the desert southwest of the US. But we're getting through. I think it's morning for both of us. It's just, it's
Yes.
the beginning of a day for me and the end of a day for you. So Uh,
Yes, so
but thanks
true.
so much for staying up with us.
Of
So
course.
what are we going to be talking about today, Souza?
Oh, well, we have a very special guest on today, Maple Finance, who I'm very excited to talk to you, everyone about, because they just launched on Linea. We should talk to them, see what they're all about.
Totally. Very excited for that, and we're going to be checking in on a lot of things happening around the Linea ecosystem and talking to Maple Finance. But first, let's start with something that we're going to try to do on a regular basis here, which is check in with what is going on throughout the Linea ecosystem and community. And our amazing growth team has created the perfect place to do that when that's the Linea Hub. So we can go ahead and take the screen share there, Joe, and maybe we can start by just walking through what is on the Linea Hub. Obviously, the main thing that's happened since you and I were having these conversations regularly, Souza, is the Linea airdrop happened. It's been
Yes.
a little while since then, but that was the exciting news last month. And we're excited to report that at last check, over 90% of eligible addresses had claimed their airdrop. And Linea has over $2 billion in total value secured. That is mind blowing.
Nice.
Uh, Makes it the number one ZK rollup. And we're also not too far behind OP mainnet. And
Oh,
w- right, I mean, we're coming for the optimistic rollups next. So watch out, folks. Also, some news today: the Linea token is available on all major exchanges, and including in just a couple hours from now, spot trading begins on Coinbase. So bottom line, Linea is
huge,
everywhere. Huge, huge.
huge,
So
huge news.
that's the big news. And then let's keep taking a quick stroll through the hub here. Take a look at what's going on with other tokens. And by the way, this is kind of the best place to just check in on the regular to see what's going on with Linea. Easy way to keep track of most swapped tokens. No real surprises here. The stable coins and some of the blue chips from the ecosystem. Linea, MetaMask USD, Wrap Bitcoin, EtherX, that Rex 33 liquid staking token over at EtherX. Those are the most swapped. An interesting top mover, meme coin we haven't heard from in a while, Fox of Linea, up 100%
Oh,
over the last 24 hours. As far as I can tell, I think an investment group like just dumped a bunch of liquidity, a bunch of capital into this overnight. So
okay.
anyway, lots of things to keep an eye on here. Good to see T-Bag moving up as well. Some symbiosis looking good. LUSD stablecoin. So that's what's going on with tokens. And real quick, continuing the scroll down the hub, I think it's time we predict the future, Souza. These are myriad markets on Linea where you can predict the future and maybe grow your bags at the same time. Prediction markets. Big one. Will ETH, keep waiting for this. Will ETH hit $5,000 by the end of the year? What do you think, Souza?
I don't know. You know, I have so much hope, but yeah, I think it will. We still have so much time left. There's like 3 months out of the year. The other night I was sleeping, and because I'm in Australia, the time zone is crazy different now. And I think while I was sleeping, Bitcoin and Ethereum both hit all-time highs, and I missed it. So I think I need to be awake for the next all-time high. 5K, please come. Grow my bags. I want this. We all want this.
It's so close.
It's
Uh,
so close.
I feel like yes, and apparently we're in the majority there. 71% trading on yes currently at the moment. Lots of other cool stuff to check out. Some things we probably don't want to comment about: a MetaMask token, SBET price, and then there's also some non-crypto stuff. Russia-Ukraine ceasefire. There's some Ultimate Fighting Championship stuff that I don't really know anything about, but all this myriad on Linea, and you can always access it again via the Linea hub at linea.build. Another thing I noticed as I was scrolling here, Suzo, is something called Lamina One.
Ah,
These are folks that
yes.
you've been working with.
I have. I've been working with this team. It's so great because it's not a DeFi project. I know we're focusing a lot on DeFi, which makes sense. We just launched our token and we need to grow our TVL. We have all these programs going on, which we can talk about in a minute. But Lamina One is such a cool project. It is there to disrupt the greater industry. Oh, I'm gonna get some water.
Mhm.
And basically, the big news here is that Neil Stevenson, if you guys are sci-fi fans, Neil Stevenson, who's oh, I don't know what's going on with me right now.
All right. Deep breath, big gulp.
Neil Stevenson, who's like a very famous sci-fi author. He's written books like Snow Crash, which was the first book to coin the term metaverse. He's kind of like a Nostradamus of our time, where he predicts things like AI and cryptography. Anyways, he's a co-founder on this project, and they are launching a new product called Spaces, which is a space for creators to create and then create communities. Imagine like Discord, but gaming, but an NFT store all in one sort of platform. It's going to be very cool, and it's going to be launched exclusively on Linea. The team's moving over from Avalanche, and not only that, but Neil Stevenson is going to be the first space that's offered on Lamina One. And his space will be a AI game where it's like a story about how AI like fought amongst itself and then collapsed and then humanity needs to be reborn. So it's actually a Web3 game. And he's going to be releasing like new chapters of this greater story every week or every other week on his space on Linea. So super cool if you're a Neil Stevenson fan, if you're a sci-fi fan, if you're a creator gaming. This is honestly going to be such a cool platform. And the fact that we get legendary Neil Stevenson releasing new IP on Linea, it's going to be very cool. So trending now, we'll have announcements from them coming up soon. And I believe next week we're going to have them on this live stream. So we'll hear more about this next week. I'm feeling very
So
good about this
awesome.
project. Yeah.
So great. I mean, he's totally a legend. And if you want to get even more hype for this, if you can find the Token 2049 panel, talk about a
Yes.
gathering of legends of Joe Lubin and Neil Stevenson on stage in Singapore. I think it was last week. Watch that, and you'll get there. We go. You'll get
There it
so
is.
super hype. Yeah. So totally looking forward to that for
And
sure.
I was there, and I feel like people didn't understand that he was famous because you know when it's token and you're walking in events and the panel's going on and people are talking and they're not really paying attention. I think towards the end, people were like, "Oh my God, is that Neil Stephenson?" So it flew under the radar pretty hard. So if you were there and you got the access code for early access, it was something they were giving out just at this event. I hope you got it, but it was very cool. Very cool to have legends on stage. And it's Joe Lubin's favorite author, and he's next to him on stage. Such a cool moment for Joe.
Yeah, I think some people there's might be a little bit of a generational thing here because I think some people don't realize what a legend Stevenson is because his book Snow Crash. I think that's probably Joe's favorite. It came out in the '90s, but it like
92, I
really
think. Yeah.
yeah, I mean it really like predicted kind of the world that we live in now and like things with like in terms of the internet, things like augmented reality and yeah, so like the fact that we might be envisioning and then building the next future beyond that with him on Linea. Like, think about it, folks. Get involved. It's super exciting. Um, Speaking about getting involved, the
Nice.
easiest way to do that is, hey, yeah, transition.
Nice, nailed it.
Even when it's early, 7:17 a.m. Uh, so one of the best ways that you can just like dive into the Linea ecosystem is, if you have a MetaMask card, just pull that sucker out, and spend, because it'll earn you Coinmunity cash back, and that's a program that's been like so insanely successful that like we kind of are having a hard time managing it, because as quick as we can refill the rewards pool, it's all gone. Like that's how much MetaMask card spending is going on. So yesterday, we announced that we've been tweaking with the structure and the schedule of the rewards pool so that we can try to keep more rewards in the pool more often, because basically, the way it works is like a certain amount of tokens are put in the pool, and then you spend and you claim, and then it's gone. So it's not an unlimited pool. Like once the allotted amount is allocated, like you can't earn any more for that period. So we're tweaking that, and you can find all the details on the Linea blog of of the changes. But basically, the way it works is, you spend with MetaMask card, you get up to 15% Coinmunity cashback, and that percentage is kind of
That's
floating
insane.
based on what's in the pool. But like up to 15% is crazy, and you can actually stack more than that, which we'll talk about in a second with Linea Ignition and some other things. Um, and then for each spend, you've got 7 days to claim the cashback. So these do expire. You've only got 7 days to claim, and the other thing to know is that the whole system resets each Wednesday. So basically, the pool is replenished every Wednesday. This means that if you spend on Wednesdays and Thursdays when the rewards pool is newly replenished, you've got the highest likelihood of receiving that full 15%. Apparently, except for this week, when right before this, we went to go check, and the pool was replenished yesterday, and it's already gone.
Wow.
So that's like how crazy this is, how much like MetaMask card spending is going on. Um, so obviously we're gonna have to continue tweaking this, because the goal of keeping that pool full, the demand is outstripping the supply. So we're gonna have to continue to work on that. But do check the blog post for like the full rundown of the system, which may be changing again soon. And just so many rewards. Like here's a quick look at what's in the pool when it's full. And this is like ideally the mix that you'll see. Wednesday, folks. Wednesday. This is the day to
Wednesday.
spend until we get a better system going, or you stop spending with MetaMask card, which is clearly not going to happen. But that's what's going on with Coinmunity cashback, which is, as I said earlier, just one way to stack rewards. Another one is Linea Ignition, right, Susan? Maybe you want to talk through this one a little
Yes.
bit.
Yes, you know what? I kind of like forgot about it and then I checked earlier and it turns out that I've earned some rewards. Hey! So I feel really good about it. So Linea Ignition is, yeah, go ahead and launch that. So basically, it's a way for Linea to incentivize you to lock in your TVL on Linea. So we've partnered with Euler, um, EtherX, we partnered with Turtle, we've partnered with so many different protocols. And essentially, you can just go to this page and you can check which pools are part of the Ignition program. It needs to be a protocol that's a part of it, as well as a pool or vault. And then if you provide liquidity for that pair, that vault, whatever it is, you actually just get extra Linea tokens as incentive. Um, so that's what's happening right now. So I've been doing LPs on EtherX, and if you go to etherx.finance and you click over to the liquidity tab, you can actually, uh, it's denoted, yeah, go ahead and click liquidity. Sorry, yeah, liquidity dashboard.
Yeah,
You go
so
to the main liquidity page.
this is one of the pairs on EtherX
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, so if you just go to the main liquidity page and you see all the pairs where you can, add. add tokens to, then it'll have this little blue linea logo on the pair, and that's how you see which one
Oh,
is.
okay. The
Yeah,
liquidity
see,
pool.
there's that little blue.
Yeah, there
See
we
that
go.
little blue thing? There we go.
Yeah.
So it's just an extra way to stack rewards, and it's going on till the end of the month. So might as well just get some free Linea tokens. That's what
I
I'm
mean,
doing. Since I
it's
didn't get
so
any drop
exciting.
tokens, I have to earn my Linea tokens.
And we
The
didn't even
rest of the
mention that
people.
when you spend with the card, you also get like USDC cashback on top of this. Plus, if you're supplying to Aave, there's an
That's right.
extra 2.4% boost. So it's kind of ridiculous when you start stacking up
Yeah.
all these incentives. It is so far. I was telling folks, like, I've moved over from like my main bank card to the MetaMask card being my main spender, because it's like so far outstripping the rewards I get through my bank. It's like not even close anymore. So
Yeah.
if you're not stacking all the rewards, you're definitely missing out.
That's true. Also, it just feels good to like spending crypto and using a crypto card, makes me feel like I'm
Yeah,
walking the walk, part of it. You know what I mean?
yeah, it finally makes a lot of sense. Finally it makes more sense to do it than not to do it.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming, so it's really amazing. Um,
So true.
cool. So that's the Linea Hub. That's everything that's going on, except for one thing we left out, which is what's going on with our friends over at Maple Finance.
Let's bring him on.
Mm.
Bringing
And we've
on
got
Maple.
Martin. Hey, Martin.
Hey,
Hey,
Martin.
good morning. Great to see you both.
Thanks for
Welcome.
joining.
Welcome. Martin, can you just let everyone know, first of all, what do you do at Maple? And for those of us in the community who don't know what Maple is, just give us like a 30-second overview.
Yeah, so I'm head of growth at Maple, so responsible for the capital supply. And Maple is an on-chain asset manager. So we manage stablecoins, Bitcoin on behalf of our clients, and we apply institutional, asset management to on-chain. So we've been growing rapidly. We started the year about 400 million in assets under management. We're currently almost at 5 billion, and we expect to close the year strong and scale to 20 billion next year.
Oh, no big deal. So I saw that, yeah, no big deal. It's 20 billion. This is totally fine. So you're institutional backed loans. Okay, so if I'm an institution, why would I want to put down ETH to take out the loan? Like what's like the biggest use case? What's the loan for?
Yeah, so it's typically institutions that are long ETH, right? So they have a long bias for ETH. They want to hold ETH in the long term, and they want to borrow dollars for a whole variety of use cases, right? Some of them might want to buy more ETH, right, and
Oh,
apply leverage. Some of them might want to, apply it in a variety of different dollar return strategies, where they can actually, essentially earn returns on the ETH, right? So if they
mm,
borrow at 8% and they deploy it at 15%, then they earn the spread, right, on the underlying Ethereum. Some of them might just want to grow their businesses, right? They might want to hire more people, invest in software, or a variety of different things. So it's really multifaceted. It's just the same reason that any other company might want to
yeah.
borrow capital. It's really to grow their business, or deploy a variety of financial strategies.
Yeah, that makes sense. I thought about that like you can put down your ETH to then buy more ETH.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one option.
So I know that you had a big announcement with Cantor, which is like this major bank. Tell us what that is about.
Yes, yeah. So we're really excited about that. I think that's the first time that a real traditional bank is partnering with a DeFi platform to bring capital on chain. And Cantor is essentially a financing partner that can provide financing for us, for us to fund more loans to our counterparties. So we're really excited about that partnership. Growing that partnership, and I think it was really a first moment where that happened, which shows how we've sort of like matured as an industry. And now the big Wall Street banks are partnering with DeFi companies.
That is so huge. And so in
So
that
bullish.
deal, right? I know. So they provided you with, I think, a huge amount of Bitcoin, right? And that's going to be used for you to be able to, it's a loan for yourself. Is that right?
Yeah, so they provide us with dollars, and we pledge the Bitcoin. So it is essentially
Nice.
a financing partner that we can tap into to to have more capital available for our clients.
Wow. So this means that large regulated institutions are now treating crypto as serious collateral, which is a big deal, guys. Did
For
you go
sure.
to Token 2049 this year, Martin?
Yes, yeah, I just came
Yeah.
back, so that was really exciting.
Yeah, did you see I when I was there, I also noticed that it seemed like everyone is talking, and Joe Lubin's like doing a media circuit right now, like he's on like Bloomberg and all these other media outlets, and he's talking about how institutions like now is the time for TradFi to come to DeFi. And I felt that the same. I don't know if you do too at Token 2049. And then I met you guys at Maple, and you have this Cantor announcement. So like what makes now different? Like I don't know how long you've been at Maple, but what are you seeing just in the last 6 months or year or however long that's making institutions like finally make this jump? Finally.
Yeah. So I've been in Maple for 4 years, and I remember the early days. We were like sending emails to all these large institutions, and they just completely ignored us. Um, and I would say
Yeah.
since sort of like end of last year, they started answering emails, and now we're engaged
Hmm.
with pretty much all of the large, TradFi firms on one level or another. These are, of course, long due diligence cycles, but it's very promising. The reason why I think now is, first of all, you got the Bitcoin ETFs that got approved, so I think that added a lot of legitimacy last year. So a lot of institutions, they start with Bitcoin, right? And that's sort of the first way they get into the space, but it's not really DeFi. Um, and then once they're sort of comfortable with that, then they start looking at, okay, what else is there available? And one of the first things that really piques their interest is the on-chain yields are much higher than in TradFi, and the duration profile is much better. So at Maple, we offer pretty much instant liquidity, right, to our clients. If you would go to TradFi, for similar rate, you would have to lock your capital up for like 5 years in a credit fund. So
Mm.
that's a completely different profile. So a lot of these firms are really interested in that, especially with interest rates coming down in traditional markets. We typically see, crypto prices go up, which, that requires more leverage, more borrowing activity. So crypto rates are sort of inversely correlated with TradFi rates, especially on short time horizons. So I only think that's going to accelerate, right? Ultimately, these institutions want yield. So and then they're looking for high quality partners that have the know-how on how to navigate this landscape and get them that yield. So we actually see a lot of traditional firms, instead of just going in straight, they like to partner with DeFi companies and outsource sort of the allocations to them. So we're seeing that a lot, and a lot of our clients and partners in the space are growing rapidly and attracting a lot of institutional capital.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that at Token that everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking about stables, and it feels like people have been wanting banks to get onto crypto and off their legacy platforms for so long, but like it feels like now's the time. Do you see any like major roadblocks, like talking to institutions? Are there any like common things that you're seeing that either need to happen in order for them to get online, that sounds so old, but, like, in order to get on chain or, like, what are the things they need to see, or are they ready and they're just like, "Let's do a little bit of gambling, let's get a little yield," and then, like, if that goes well, is that, like, their gateway drug? Like, what are the trends that you're seeing?
Yeah, so they like to start small, right, and sort of dabble and do some testing. So that's really what we're seeing. I would say at this stage there aren't really any major blockers that we need to overcome. So I think most of the big blockers have been overcome already. So it's really a matter of scaling up, and all these institutions are very large, right? And for them to deploy size, it's just going to take time. So in the same way with Bitcoin, a lot of them start with, first of all, test trade, right? Let's just put it on the books, get the operations in place, get our trading team comfortable with it. And then once you have done some testing, then it's like, okay, let's do a 1% allocation, right? And then you build your way into that, right? You don't just smash the buy button and get it on the books. So that might be like a multi-month process. And then after that, it's like, okay, it's working really well, right? They see the returns, they see that it really boosts their like overall book, and then they might increase to like 2 or 3%, right? And sort of like that's the way they scale up. So it's very systematic, it's very long term. So there's no blockers. We shouldn't expect all of them to be like fully allocated in crypto in the next year, right? It's just going to be a gradual build up process over the next 5 to 10 years. And during that time, we will just continue to grow and sort of like double as an industry, year over year, until we've really had critical mass. So it's a really exciting time to be in crypto. It's finally happening.
A dam is finally broken, it feels like, for sure.
Exactly.
Well, amazing. And are you seeing, I know that DeFi, I don't know how to say DeFi AI because it sounds the same. How do you guys say it? DeFi AI? Anyways, AI for DeFi is obviously exploding in crypto. Are you seeing any overlap in institutions for either from the TradFi side? Are you seeing them experimenting with DeFi? Are they seeing any experimentation with blockchain? And is there any overlap there that you're seeing?
Yeah, so definitely experimenting with DeFi. DeFi AI is something that I would say currently is mainly on the retail side. A lot of hype around it. I think it's extremely interesting. I mean, over the next, I think 10 to 20 years, like we'll see, AI agents and bots and programs, whatever you want to call it, are probably going to be running most of finance. And it just makes a lot of sense to do that through public blockchains, right? Because it's global, it's single state, it's very efficient. You can trade any asset, etc. And ultimately the institutions will do that as well. I think the institutions will write their like proprietary programs, right? So they already have a lot of algorithms, and most of crypto trading right now on exchanges and both centralized and decentralized is already automated. So yeah, I think overall, we'll see more and more automation. And I think for retail, it's just sort of like a level playing field where they can either code their own bots or deploy into high performing bots. So I think it's a fascinating space. At Maple, we don't do much with it yet, right? Like we are, within the crypto ecosystem, we're in the more institutional conservative side, but we definitely have sort of like research going on and sort of like innovation internally to look at, can we get agents to do underwriting on loans, and what does that look like? So that's definitely something where we see the space moving towards, as well as our own platform. But step by step, like we first want to see it proven out as a use case and make sure that it's really solid and meets institutional standards.
Wow. So it sounds like we're there. It's coming. It's not going to be a bang. It's going to be, like you said, like a slow march up a hill to get DeFi merged together with TradFi. So that's really cool. I'm going to keep an eye on you guys and see what you're doing. And if I'm a user on Linea, like how should I get involved with Maple?
Yeah, so right now we did the institutional loan, right? So that is the first step. And if there's users that want to get financing against assets on Linea, then we're very excited to look at that. And over time, there might be more and more opportunities for users to participate.
Okay, sounds good. Well, that's all the questions we had for you. We just wanted to give everyone a quick intro on Maple, and we're so happy you're on Linea now. Thanks for being here. We're definitely going to be focused on institutions, so you seem like a really good partner to have on Linea. So thanks for being part of the ecosystem.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thanks for
Martin.
inviting us. Really excited. We're also excited to partner with you and grow the ecosystem. I love seeing the application earlier with like all of the different opportunities, and it's really exciting to see the user interface being so simple and smooth.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll pass that
We're just
feedback
getting
on.
started. All
Yeah.
For sure. Great. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
right.
Martin.
Take care,
Bye bye.
Martin. So exciting. It's so cool to see like these big moves happening, big names coming to the network.
Yeah.
And
I'm telling you, token was all institutions. Everyone was like, we're going to be the one to bring the institutions on. They're like, no, we're going to be the one. And then Linea, Consensus, we haven't even talked about this, but we announced our partnership. Consensus announced a partnership with Swift, which is essentially going to be providing the rails for banks to come onto blockchain. So it is all happening. It's all here.
it is all happening. And that is it for today. But there is more coming. And as Susie and Martin alluded to, a lot more coming in the next weeks and months. Just thinking of a few things. And we're going to be hearing more about the Linea Consortium, the huge Linea ecosystem fund. MetaMask Rewards is on the way. And there are boosts planned for you using Linea in that reward system. We also got native yield. Much more, all in the not too distant future. We'll be updating you regularly right here. Keep checking the Linea Hub as well for more news. And for now, remember, Linea is the best place for ETH because Linea is Ethereum. Thanks, Souza. Thanks, Joe, behind the scenes. And we'll see you all next time. Get some
See you all
sleep,
next
Souza.
week, guys. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Bye.